Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, Should I Go to the Party? And this is the same title as my book by NichollMcGuire, which is, Should I Go to the Party? So, what is it that we're going to talk about today? Well, we're going to read out of the book. In chapter 4, I title it, I Think I Would Like to Be There. Okay? I think I would like to be there. Now, here's the story with this book. I created it because I realized that sometimes we all have our share of anxiety about going somewhere, okay? So what I did was in this book, I provided some tips on what to do if you plan to accept or decline a holiday invitation. I also provide you with some thoughts on what to do in the future and whether going along with the request now might be in your best interest later, okay? There has been many experiences that I have gone through in intimate relationships with in-laws, and I dated more than my share of people in the past, okay? And so there would be those times where I would say, I don't know if I want to go to this event. And you know how it is. Sometimes you end up going and you have a good time. But then other times you say yes and you end up having a terrible time, and you'll say something like, that was the worst, hours of my life spent. I can't believe I made that decision. So for my fellow folks who are a bit doubtful about going to a future event, I wrote this book for you. Now, chapter 4, I think I would like to be there. Sometimes we may want to visit with family with or without a partner. Whatever the choice might be, just prepare yourself for any of the following issues that could arise afterward. There might be no talking, some pouting, ignoring behavior, and discussions about ending a relationship, okay? In the 2000 comedy, Meet the Parents, Greg Fokker experiences what many men dread about dating their girlfriends, which is meeting parents, more specifically the fathers. But young men muster up the courage and do it anyway, because their women mean so much to them. What one would do for love. Now, keep in mind, you are not responsible for how someone else feels about things like who you are with, your background, what you look like, their personal decisions, and unresolved issues. Always think of yourself first, and don't allow your assumptions or the way someone behaves ruffle your feathers to the point that a relationship or friendship is forever tarnished as a result. Also, don't be the one who does things like cares too much about others even when they could care less about you. Enable an addict or other troubled people. Do things without really wanting to do them. Complain a lot and act difficult whenever holiday family celebrations and other events arrive. This is why I say think about yourself first in a situation like this. Folks like this are considered codependents. Look that up and be sure you are not acting like them. Maybe you are happy about attending a function hosted by your partner's family. If this is the case, then you can always go. Don't worry so much about what your family might think. Who knows? There could be someone in your family who would like to spend time with their in-laws too. So by watching you, they might be so inspired next year. Now, the following are some great reasons to attend any event. Number 1, good refreshment and food choices. They are colorful, tasty, and plentiful. Number 2, quality entertainment. Number 3, friendly people. Number 4, well-managed event with a clean and organized setting. Number 5, fun activities and play areas for children. Number 6, it's spacious. Number 7, guests can show up without feeling pressure to give or do something. Number 8, most attendees are well behaved. Number 9, smokers and drinkers have designated areas. Number 10, it isn't too crowded and there is plenty of elbow room to eat. Number 11, it isn't too loud, so you can have conversations. Number 12, you get to socialize with others. Number 13, parking is ample. Number 14, you know a few people or more. And number 15, there are start and end times. Now, I will stop reading from the book. When we are considering on whether or not to go to an event, as you just heard, I listed 15 reasons, right? If you got some good refreshments and, folks are friendly and it's not too crowded and parking is great, it's going to be pretty much a good event. But if you've got some unfriendly people, you can't find a parking space, it's no environment really for kids, it's crowded and all of that. Well, you're most likely right if you feel like I'm not going to have a good time there. Because you just might not, okay? Some people, their tolerance level is not very good when it comes to some of these outings, okay? And it only worsens when the accommodations are less than satisfying. So why make yourself go somewhere where you're not going to have a good time? But you see, unfortunately, we've got some folks sometimes in our ear that are trying to persuade us to go somewhere. And if we're not in the mood to deal with all of the dramas and the issues, we're not going to be very nice people showing up at the event. And then the one who invited us will have a bit of an attitude with us. What's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? Well, let me go back and tell you. These are the reasons. You convinced me that all of these things would have been taken care of, but they're not. Now I am not happy, you see. This is why in situations like this, it's always best just to consider what your tolerance level is. And if your tolerance level is not very good, why are you even thinking about going to this particular event? Okay, whatever that might be. Okay, I'm going to read another excerpt out of my book, Should I Go to the Party, before I close this audio message. The chapter title is I'd Rather Not Go. Rumors are circulating. People find your life choices contrary to their personal beliefs. Relatives and friends have a lot of questions about your job, lifestyle, and more. Some kin are all too ready to ask you or your partner for handouts. The family is full of gossip, liars, thieves, and drunks. Why say yes to an open invite for drama? You may have a great relationship with some of your relatives or partners, but definitely not all. If you rather not go to the party but still are considering it, you and your companion will need to sit down and talk about what might be waiting for you at the next family event. Important people. When you or someone you might not know is successful, famous, have many contacts, and more, one has to be particularly careful where he or she goes to be entertained. Not everyone is supportive of the award-winning, beautiful, sexy, wonderful, and great performer in the family. I'd rather not attend this year, but thanks, you say. Whether you call a loved one or send a formal email response, there is etiquette to declining an invite. It is straightforward and no specific explanation needed. According to an article that appeared on personalitytutor.com, How to Decline an Invitation, you begin by thanking the host for the invitation. You ponder all the ways to make it to the function if you can. As soon as you know you can't make it, you let the host know, but you don't ignore the invite. Respond even if you won't be attending. Be honest, and if you think you might be able to make it, you mention that you will be arriving later. Your response might be, I'm sorry, I can't attend. I have a schedule conflict. Maybe we can get together on. Thank you so much for inviting me. As you know, I have been very busy with. I would love to come next time. I appreciate your warm invite. However, I am unable to attend at this time. Sometimes event planners and others just don't have a clue about the kind of pressure important people are under when in the presence of even family. Some hosts just aren't the least bit concerned about catering to a guest's specific needs or making accommodations at times. They expect all to be treated equally, but when there is a crowd of people expecting one to be all things to them, it can be overwhelming. You may be a significant person in your family who has a demanding work schedule, a partner who tends to talk a bit much, and competitive for your attention because you are away much, along with children who have their share of issues. When all this is going on in your life, while tongues wag and hands are extended, it is a good idea to decline the invite. Please do get Should I Go to the Party by NichollMcGuire. It is available as an ebook on smashwords.com, and it is also available as a print or paperback book, and you can get that at CreateSpace. Please do check the description box for the links. And you've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. If you would like to subscribe, please do. Also, if you see something of interest other than the book, you are welcome to make a purchase. And if you see nothing that is of interest, well, we welcome donations as well. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen. Be blessed.